Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. I've got Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, five sleeps till Christmas Day. Yes, I love the holidays. And happy Hanukkah to all of my Jewish family and friends. Hope you're all having light, bright, great get-togethers and everything else, and just enjoying the holidays, which is what I wanted to talk about tonight. Was holiday traditions. Some families have traditions that go back generations of things that they do every year, and there's certain things that get passed down through the families and stuff. And when I'm watching when I do my Christmas movie fest, I'm always looking, especially on the ones where it's around Christmas and family and traditions and things like that, like a National Lampoon Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Clark Griswold asks his father if he wants to read The Night Before Christmas, and his father turns around to him and says, "This is your house, it's your Christmas, it's your time." And I thought that's really cool, just passing traditions from one generation to the other. So I thought, what are some of your family traditions? Like, do you get together to trim the tree and decorate it? Do you have any stories about that? Are there certain ornaments that get put on your tree every year? That get put on your tree year after year that have been passed down through generations. I just think it's fascinating when it comes to holiday traditions and things. And I was trying to think, what were some of the holiday traditions that we had? And the only thing I could think of was that we were not allowed to go out to the living room before a certain time, and we were not allowed to disturb our parents before a certain time. So we had a limitation on. So basically, we were told we had to stay out of the living room, which is where the Christmas tree was, until a certain time, and we were not allowed to wake our parents before a certain time. Which I thought, it's Christmas Day. You want to get in there, you want to see all the presents, you want to open everything and all of that. And but no, we were on a time limit. We were not allowed to do that before a certain time. And then some families have a tradition, like in Brad's family. Christmas Eve, we would always meet at his oldest brother's house on Christmas Eve because that was his birthday. His oldest brother was born on Christmas Eve. And so we would get there and celebrate and exchange presents at that point with Brad's side of the family and things. And we would have a birthday / Christmas celebration together on that day. And when his brother passed away, there were still Christmases we would go over to his wife, to his widow's place, my sister-in-law's place, and we would still we would have a tradition of still opening presents on Christmas Eve. Great traditions and things. And there are some that have been, I don't know where that came from, but there have been some traditions that have been passed down through many generations. There are some Christmas ornaments, an angel on top of a tree, a star on top of a tree, that was made back in the 1800s that is still today being used and being passed from generation to generation to generation. What are some of the traditions that you have in your family? Is you go to a certain place on a certain day? And I'm not just talking Christmas either. There's also Hanukkah that's around this time, and Kwanzaa, and a few other holidays around there too. So what holiday are you celebrating, and what traditions do you have that have been passed down through the generations? Or maybe it could be your first holiday together, and if I put Christmas in there, I mean all the other ones as well. And maybe your first Christmas together as a couple. What traditions are you going to start for your family? What things are you going to do? So, you've got decorating of trees, you've got baking Christmas cookies. I remember I don't know if she still does it, but one of my sister-in-laws had one of those presses for making the thin Italian cookies. And their thing was the day after Thanksgiving is they all got together at one place, and they had a system worked out, and they would all sit, and it was on her side of the family, and they would all get together at one of their places. They'd already purchased the flour and the sugar and the whatever else they needed to make these beautiful cookies, and they would basically spend the entire day baking cookies. And they had this, I think of it like a toasted sandwich maker, where you open it up and you put the the batter in there, and then you close it, and then you hold it over the element for a certain time, and then flip them over. So it's a long, slow process. But they would make these cookies. I don't actually know how many cookies they can make at one time. It could either be 2 or 4. I don't know. But they would make these cookies, and then they would put them into so many per package, and they would roll the package up and put them into aluminium foil, and those were later given out as gifts and things like that. And they would do that the day after Thanksgiving every year. I don't know if they still do it to this day or not, but that was their tradition. And this cookie maker had been in their family for generations. I know she told me at one point, and I can't remember, but it had been in the family for a very, very long time. So what are some of the traditions that you have? Is there some holiday baking that you get together and do, either like she did the day after Thanksgiving, or you do it closer to the start of the holidays that you're going to be celebrating? What about decorating your house, your home, I have some friends who are huge, and I mean huge, Christmas fanatics. I mean, I can't say anything else about, they are huge Christmas fanatics. And they don't have one Christmas tree. They don't have 2 Christmas trees. At minimum, they probably have 3, maybe more Christmas trees inside their house, all decorated, different themes for the Christmas trees. Their whole house gets decked out. The whole yard gets decked out. They just do a phenomenal job. And I love seeing their photographs year after year, even videos of walking through the house of how they have decorated the house. They put Thanksgiving as the day they're going to start, but there's just a few things that get done before Thanksgiving, like the bug hits them a little earlier. And I know one of my friends this year, he turns around and says, I couldn't wait any longer. He says, I put up my first part of the Christmas decorations, and he decorated, I think it was the TV stand. He had some Christmas decorations on there. Then the next day he went to Hobby Lobby because they had like 50% off on Christmas decorations or something like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And his first tree was up before Thanksgiving. I'm like, okay. And then another friend of mine was doing crafts to get ready, so that doing the Christmas crafts, so they would be ready to be part of the decoration when it came time to decorate. I'm just like, I love Christmas. I really don't. There's some years I'm sort of like, I want to decorate. Like, I have no Christmas tree in the RV. First of all, I have no space to put a Christmas tree in an RV. Most people put it on like their table. This is my table. This is my computer. This is my, I have no space. And I don't know what Zeffie would do with it either. But even up on the dashboard, I can't put it up there because it won't be seen from outside, because the only place that can be seen from outside is where Zeffie's bed is. And yeah, it's not going in her bed. I have no decorations on the outside of the RV. We've got space. And so it's thinking of how to best utilize the space. And, I should have put my Santa hat on. I do have my Santa hat, and I have a couple of Christmas sweatshirts. I have a really cool T-shirt which I discovered when I was back in San Diego unpacking my bag, and it says, and a friend sent it to me that I was on a trip, and we went down to the Cook Islands in New Zealand, and we were gone like a week. It was a very fast trip. It was a lot of traveling in a very short amount of time, but it was so much fun. It was the one and only time I've been to Hobbiton. And but she sent me this T-shirt, and it has on it, "Christmas is too sparkly, says no one ever." And I love that shirt, and it's about this color too. And so I found it when I was out in San Diego sorting through some of the stuff from the storage unit. So I put it in the bag to bring here, and of course that bag got put at the storage unit, so I haven't unpacked any of the stuff there. But I need to go pull that out before the weekend, or I could probably go do it on Saturday. Go pull it out so I can wear it on Christmas Day. But I also have a couple of Christmas T-shirts and sweatshirts, not T-shirts, sweatshirts. So, that's about my Christmas. That's about as decorating for Christmas as I get. Oh, I also have a couple of ornaments that are up. People have sent me somebody sent me a remembrance ornament, which had a picture of Brad on it and like a remembrance bench. And on the bench it had this little plaque that has Brad's name on it. Which was just so sweet. And that one stays up year round. It's hangs off my cabinet door handle over there above the sink. The other one I've got is a friend sent me a picture with Zeffie and I on the front of it, and on the back of it was this jigsaw puzzle, this round jigsaw puzzle of like the stained glass window, which is absolutely stunning. And they put that on the back of the Christmas. So those two actually stay up year round. That's my Christmas decorations. There was one year I was at when I was down in Mesa in 2020, they came around and they left candy canes for everybody. So those candy canes just got hung over, just got hooked on the cabinet doors. They stayed there for months, and then in the end I ended up throwing them out because I was not big. Yeah, I just didn't feel like eating them. And by the time I thought about it, it was like 6, 7, 8 months later. I don't know. They actually stayed there when I drove from Mesa up to here, and a little journey around. They never actually got taken off. So trying to think of some Christmas traditions that I can do. Some of them it's a meal. It's a type of a meal. It could be the meat that they use in the meal. It could be, it's a set menu every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate. There could be a set menu that you have that you may change some of the side dishes, but the main dishes stay the same. So what holiday traditions do you have? Is it getting together and playing games? Is it getting together and having a sing-along? You're trimming the tree, decorating the tree and stuff, and you've got music playing in the background and you're all singing along to it, just having a blast. And some of the decorations too, I love handmade decorations, especially when you're a kid. And I'm not sure if I have it now, because it'll be in one of my boxes. I think I might have it now. There was a bell that I either crocheted. I crocheted a bell. It does not look like a bell. This was back when I was first learning to crochet. But it's red, and it has a little loopy thing on it to hang it on the tree. And then up inside it has a little ball of yarn, which was we covered it in like a colored cellophane or something. And I crocheted that one. And that hung on my parents' tree for years. My parents would pull it out and put it on the tree every year. I think I may have been given that, and it may be in one of my boxes that are in storage with the Christmas decorations. I can't remember if I still have it or if my parents still have it. But that little crochet bell's been around for a very long time. But I love seeing decorations that come out year after year. Some people are doing like they do like an annual decoration that goes on the tree. That could be a picture of that child from that year, and on the back it has their name and the year. I've seen those done as well, and I thought that's and the tree is just full. As the kids get older, they've still got the first Christmas one up there. Baby's first Christmas with a picture on there, and on the back's the name and the year and things. And then the next year they did they've got an updated photo with the next year written on that. And there's this just tree that's just full of different, and they use different ornaments and stuff where they have a picture of a child on there, the name on the back and the year. So every year they're putting up a decoration for that child. And I thought, how cool is that? And then I was watching, I was on LinkedIn and I was scrolling through there, and there was this family of, no, it wasn't LinkedIn. It was another, I was on some social media site, and they had 12 children. And I was sort of like, can you imagine making those decorations every year for every one of your 12 children? You would just have a huge tree, and all you would have on it would be these ornaments that have been made for each child every year, year after year after year. My sister-in-law, she's amazing with crafts. And one year she gave me these beautiful glass that she hand painted ornaments. It was a set of ornaments. They're hand painted, and she made them one year for me. And I was just like, those are so cool. They are very carefully wrapped in a hard plastic container. I have done everything I can because they seem like such thin, fragile glass, and I don't want them broken. So I have taken great care, and they were not in anything that the movers have moved. They have always been moved by hand by me because I don't want anything to happen to them. And I happened to find them when I was in San Diego. So I brought them back with me rather than leaving them in the storage. And now they're in storage here. But, what traditions do you have? Is there certain games that you play in the holiday times? Is there certain meals that you eat? Is there certain cooking that gets done, certain baking? Do you rotate through the family homes? Or is there like the grandparents' home, which is now the one that the parents live in, or do you all congregate at the grandparents' home or the parents' home, or do you take turns each year? What traditions do you have for the holidays, and how long has your family been doing these traditions too? So I just think it's really cool. And one family writes a letter of gratitude every year for everything that they have received. That was another one. I thought, oh my gosh. And they collect all the letters. They get a red ribbon wrapped around them, and they have a label that goes on it that says what year it is. And that goes into this chest that they have. And in that chest is bundles of letters from past years that have been written about what they were grateful for every year. I thought, what a cool one that is. And someday somebody's going to crack that open. And, sometimes they'll go in there and read some of the letters from past years and things. And how cool is that you all sit down together, you all write your own letter about what you're grateful for that happened to you during the year. And then it gets kept. I thought that would be, oh my gosh, what a treasure trove. And you've basically got a mini journal through the years. There's all sorts of different things that you can do. So what are some of your traditions that you have? That's it from me. I'm going to go watch, what am I watching tonight? It's a Wonderful Life from 1946. I love this movie. It is a great message. I love the fact that it's all around Christmas, and it's just such a really good feel-good movie, and it's got angels in it. I like Clarence. He's such a cool dude. Is it Clarence? Yeah, Clarence. And I think it's Clarence. Now I'm trying to guess if it's Clarence or not. But anyway, the angel's a really cool dude. I like him. And but it's just such a feel-good movie. I watched Miracle on 34th Street last night, the original one from 1947. Love that movie. I'm not too keen on the later one, but then I can't remember when I last saw it, so maybe I'll try and slip the one from, was it like 1994, I think it was? Is it 94? I think it was 94 that they did a remake of it. So I'm going to see if I can, I might be able to slip that one in to see that, just to remind myself about the later one and why it is I know I have seen it. I think I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't there. It just wasn't the 1947 version. Sometimes when they do remakes, I really prefer the originals. But I actually think the 1947 one might have been a remake of one they did earlier. I'm going to have to go back and have a look at my movie books. But yeah, so tonight we're going to watch It's a Wonderful Life from 1946. And if you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. It's black and white. Oh, they've got a colorized version. I don't like the colorized version. I prefer the black and white version. I'm sorry. I like the fact they've colorized it for those that like it in color. I prefer the black and white version. So I will be watching the black and white version, and we're going to watch that tonight. So it's time to go get dinner ready and then snuggle down and watch It's a Wonderful Life. So go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll look forward to catching up with you guys tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yes, tomorrow night around 6 p.m. Pacific time. And think about traditions that you have for holidays. What are they? How long have they been? How did the traditions start? There's another one. If you've had a tradition around that's been around for generations, how did it start? What's the original story behind the tradition? Some of you have really good stories behind traditions as to how they got started and why they keep continuing to do them. Even if it's a tradition, everybody goes, "Oh no, we're going to do that again." Yeah. So there's some of those traditions that are sort of like, do we have to do this again? But what's the story behind that one? And why is it you keep it going if everybody's sort of like, really? We're going to do that again? So have a look. What traditions do your family have? Anyway, go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hei konara.